All right, in this video, we're going to show the RFP Analyzer's Build Submission Rules report. Now, this has been covered in a couple other videos, but this video is going to be just dedicated to showing that report real quick. All right, so we're in a proposal kit project here. We'll go into RFP Analyzer. Now, we've already run the pre-processing, the build chapter list, and the AI writer instructions. So we're going to select the build submission rules report. Now, the RFP Analyzer can be used when you're using Proposal Kit to create the response proposal, but you can also use the Proposal Kit's RFP Analyzer if you're building your final proposals in another system or just from scratch. So you can use this RFP Analyzer to create reports and pages for content that can be assisting you in whatever system you're using. So maybe you're using another proposal system that doesn't have RFP analysis, or maybe ours has some extra features that another system doesn't. So you're using ours to augment that. So we're going to select the Build Submission Rules report. Now, we have to have run the pre-process operation first because that will have set up all the other operations. So, for example, when we pre-process the RFP document, it will have split it up into its component chapters and gotten everything ready for being able to run other operations. So we've selected the submission rules report. And if we click this, credits needed, we need 3 AI credits. And we got plenty, so now we can start the analysis. And you can also select different brands of AIs. If you, say, prefer Anthropic or, say, Google Gemini versus OpenAI, you can change what model or brand. Now, different brands might give you slightly different results. But we're just going to stick with the default OpenAI. And we just kick back and wait for it to call the AI system. So it's going to have to make multiple AI calls. So those can sometimes take a few minutes. So just kind of get back and wait for it to complete. All right, now the rules report's been generated and puts us on the results screen. We just open this document up. And this is what the rules report looks like. So it will go through the entire RFP, pick out anything related to the submission that's important, and categorizes it in order of importance. So it first starts out with mandatory rules, and it'll give you a little checkbox so you can use this Word document as your checklist and start checking off things that you've covered. And it'll tell you, okay, here's the section or chapter of the RFP, and this is what it found, and it determined it was a mandatory rule. And just goes through all those. All right, then if it found anything that it thinks is discouraged, disqualifying, things you should not do in the response, it will give you a list of all those. Proposers must not contact reviewers directly. That's usually pretty standard. Do not send cloud view-only links that require external account access. That's always pretty frustrating when you send somebody a document and then they can't view anything because they don't have rights. Optional rules. So these are things that kind of found that are optional. You don't need to And then there's informational rules. This is just general things that found that you should be aware of. And then suggestions, best practices. This is these are things that were not directly referenced in the RFP, but things you might want to just consider for best practices. All right, so that is the submission rules report. It's just a checklist of all the things you should be aware of in your final submission, and you can use this as a checklist to go through and check off what you've covered. And this would be one of your final checklists to go through and compare back to the final finished response proposal before you submit it. And that is the submission rules report. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and click subscribe to keep up on the latest proposal writing tips with Proposal Kit.